Hello, my name is Emily Beynon and that was Caprice number 23 in G major, and I was playing from the Moïse edition. But before we get on to the study, I want to start by saying a very big thank you to Liz Walker for inviting me to take part in this fabulous project. I'm sure that this challenge has been a really rewarding and enjoyable journey for everyone involved, and I know that I've certainly loved watching everyone's wonderful videos and have learnt a lot. Because although I had worked on a few of these studies in the dim and distant past, I must admit that they've not been a regular part of my flute playing diet for quite a long time now. But I just want to share a few things that this Caprice has got me thinking about as I've been exploring it. It's of course in G major, which is a lovely key, and whilst maybe it's not one of the most challenging in the book, it does throw up some interesting technical issues. So what might Boehm have wanted us to be practicing? Well, I think the first technical aspect would be the different articulations and keeping the even semiquavers, whatever the articulation is. And we've got short notes on strong beats, we've got little pairs of notes usually going across the beat, we've got 1+3 articulation, we've got long slurs of 8 or even 16 notes, sometimes with accents underneath, sometimes really smooth, those chromatics where it's really important to keep your fingers lovely and even. So plenty of things to be thinking about in the way of textures and not letting those various textures get in the way of the rhythm. So perhaps a good preparatory exercise for this Caprice would just be to practice your G major and other scales with all those various different articulations. Another complexity in the rhythm of this Caprice is, of course, there are so many breathing places after the first beat of the bar. And personally, when I've been working on this one, I've tried to give the first note after any breath as gentle an attack as possible. We don't want to risk wrong-footing our listener, and the aim is, of course, to keep the pulse as logical as possible at all times. And speaking of the logical pulse, consider how many pulses you want in each bar. Obviously, when he marks those accents, whether that's Moïse or Boehm, we have to show clearly those accents. But in other places, do we want 4 beats in the bar, or are there 2 important beats in the bar? Or maybe, like at the very end, when we get to that last G major chord, maybe we just want to show 1 pulse for those last 3 bars. And of course, something which makes keeping the pulse quite difficult is the breathing, because of course there's not very much time for us to do that in this Caprice. So I've got a couple of suggestions. In places like bar 9, there I deliberately rush the first 3 notes after the breath a tiny little bit, just so that we have time to breathe and to get to the second beat in time. And then another little trick would be, for example, in bar 29, I rush the notes deliberately just before the breath so that I can take the breath and still be on time for the next bar line. And I think as a general rule of thumb in this study, little and often works very well. And the final technical aspect I want to discuss are the fingers, and I think that he's encouraging us to keep our fingers nice and soft and close to the instrument. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of Ds in this piece, and D can be quite a slammy note in the right hand. So be careful to keep your fingers close to the instrument and soft, and keep listening so that we can avoid that finger percussion as much as possible. Well, I think those were the main points that I've been thinking about when working on this one. So hope you enjoy it, and well, you're nearly there now, just number 24 to go. So good luck to everyone for the complete playthrough challenge on the 1st of June, and have a great time. Go for it.